escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. CeeChronicles here. I'm home away from home, but we need to keep the videos rolling, because if I were to go with my schedule, then it might mean that I won't post maybe for the next 7 or 10 days. So anyway, welcome to the channel, guys. I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate you subscribing. Now, if you're subscribed already and you're returning, thank you so much for the continued support. I am on the road, but I did travel with a couple of vials, of my collection. These are off French Avenue, and I just want to sniff them with you. These are actually going to be my fragrances during the trip, okay, because when I travel I actually purchase more fragrances, so I prefer to use the testers during the trip, and then at least I can get good use of them. So I'm going to start with this one, guys, Tabac Coke. I am keeping up with the Fragrance World page, and as soon as they post a new release, I then bring it to you to give you my thoughts. So I saw Tabac Coke, advertised on the Instagram page, and I thought, okay, I'm going to carry that and wear it just to experience it, as well as to tell you my thoughts. Now, the opening of this fragrance is certainly on the sweet side. It's also woody and very spicy. It's got cinnamon, it might also have cumin, cloves, and very sweet and spices actually. Perhaps mostly cinnamon, but it could be something else. Why I started with Tabac Coke, guys, is this was the most interesting because I love fragrances that incorporate the Coca-Cola note. The smell of Coca-Cola to my nose is very pleasant, and I'm always looking for the best interpretation in terms of fragrances as to who gets it right. And the Coca-Cola note is the reason why I own the Estee Lauder one. I've forgotten. I'm going to put the bottle there. It kind of looks like a Coca-Cola bottle, actually. Is it Youth Dew? I've forgotten. Okay, but it's got Coca-Cola and a lot of notes. And then I also bought Born to Be Unforgettable by Killian because of the Coca-Cola note. In the first one, which is the Youth Dew, it gets so busy that the Coca-Cola note gets buried. The second one, which is Born to Be Unforgettable, it then gets very heady to me to an extent of, me not enjoying the Coca-Cola note. Now in this, the Coca-Cola note is actually quite defined. In this, I can smell it. It is rising to the surface, adding a sweetness amidst those spices. So this then becomes a woody, sweet scent with a Coca-Cola note, but the Coca-Cola note not pushing this one, let's say, to beveragey, like a gourmand beveragey type of thing. It maintains the fact that it is a fragrance, and some noses are going to say this one pulls masculine because it's then joined by the tobacco, making it more of a sweet Coca-Cola scent with a tobacco-y leafy feel. Just faint citruses, but not enough for me to say buy this for the citruses, but certainly on the sweet side. And now that's it's set a little bit, I can almost say it could certainly be unisex, this fragrance. This fragrance, guys, had me interested in the samples that I got from Fragrance World of French Avenue because of how they named it, Tabac Cola. It made me think that it's probably going for that Mancera Tonka Cola, fragrance. And I do have a clone of that Tonka Cola that we were given by Paris Corner, and that I've always said lacks in longevity. This one borrows from that Mancera Tonka Cola, and this one kind of pushes it further than what you get in the Paris Corner one. So if you purchase the Paris Corner one, Paris Corner Emir Cherry Cola, I think that's what they called it. If you purchased it and it's not really quite hitting it there, or it's quite on the shy side, then this would certainly be a recommendation. Absolutely feel as though it's cut from the same cloth as that Mancera Tonka Cola, but a little bit heavier there in terms of the spices and the woods. So basically it becomes a woody, spicy scent that is probably going to do best in fall, even winter. The next one I'm going to talk about is going to be Cafe and Cream, simply because it's a Fragrance World of French Avenue page has the Tabac and Cola as well as this one packaged in the same bottle. The difference being this Tabac and Coke bottle is brown while this one is white. So Cafe and Cream, I am going to assume that this is going to be a gourmand, and this is going to be my first time spraying this particular one. That one I had actually tried it before. So okay, this is certainly on the gourmand side. It's also not as vividly foodie as I thought it was going to be. It does highlight that sugar accord, a burnt sugar accord. You could call it caramel. It does feel a little bit toasty to my nose there. It also feels as though it has a heightened vanilla, raw vanilla. That's what I am getting as first impressions in this. And then there is that coffee note, and I think the coffee note is what then shapes what happens with this fragrance, this cafe and cream. It vibes as a little bit dark to my nose, or a little bit rich to my nose, to an extent that I wouldn't say this is creamy. Say you were going by what they've said here, cafe and cream. I wouldn't class this as a creamy scent, like tonic milky scent, that sort of thing. The inclusion of the milk or the ice cream note in here is in a way taking a back seat a little bit, making it more about that coffee, making it more about that amaretto, making it more about that raw vanilla. So this is what this fragrance is giving me right now. And unfortunately, this DNA, I may need to wear it a little bit further, but it's kind of giving me that amore latte, type of DNA, where if you love amore latte, you're probably gonna love this. I think that's as best as I can describe it. It doesn't vibe like Bianco latte or some of the other milky fragrances that we've been given there, or creamy fragrances like Blanche Bitter. It doesn't vibe like that. Now, next up, guys, is gonna be INIZIO For Her, and then I have INIZIO For Him. Okay, so let us start with INIZIO For Her. I only have 5, guys, so this video is not going to take an eternity. Let us spray a couple of sprays there of INIZIO, and this is For Her. I think this is the one that says extrait. No, it's not an extrait. Okay. Oh, okay. This is certainly on the fruity and floral side. The fruits are evident as well as the florals. They're kind of interchanging there, so it becomes a 50-50 way. If you love fruity scents, you're probably going to love this. And if you love floral scents, you're probably going to love it. That is what I get on the initial spray. It is feminine leaning to my nose. It feels as though it's got apple or pear. It may also have some strawberry. It vibes almost in the same vein as the Burberry Her, the one in the pink bottle. I think Fragrance World have given us a rendition of that fragrance in Optimistic Her, or one of those, Burberry lookalike bottles, and that is what I got from that initially. But this one feels a little bit more intense. This one is a little bit out there, okay? It is bold. It is a fragrance that I'm not sure whether it's gonna fizzle and disappear and not be felt after you wearing it for a while. But the initial impression I have of this is it's a floral. The florals that are speaking the most here are probably rose and perhaps maybe jasmine, those type of florals, and they're interpreting as a little bit intense there. There's a slight greenness, I'm tempted to say, maybe even a mossy feel. But to cut to the chase, guys, if you love that Burberry For Her, if you love that, then INIZIO For Her is something that you're probably gonna like. Second from the last is gonna be INIZIO For Him. Okay, so this is the male counterpart. Let us spray it. I'm spraying it further so that I don't contaminate my tissues. So this is INIZIO, the men's one. It actually comes in a blue bottle, and it looks like the juice is also blue because these vials are quite transparent and quite clear there. Okay, it kind of gives me a salty accord, a marine accord. It's also on the aromatic side. I think when I checked the note, this one had a double dose of lavender, and the lavender in here is not shy. It is pretty active there. It's kind of like a piercing lavender, where it's working in tandem with the patchouli, intensifying everything that's happening, in this fragrance. There is a freshness about it because of that apple, a crisp apple that they have put there, but it's quite on the intense summery side. So yes, this certainly gives me masculine. This certainly gives me aromatic and a little bit of spicy, but more on the aromatic, even green side there. Perhaps it's going to transition into an even lighter and fresher scent, because these are initial impressions. But just based on the initial impressions, this is quite on the loud side. Loud in terms of spiciness, loud in terms of being aromatic. I think this one also lists the note of a of cloves, but they have put the cloves as the fresh leaf than a dry leaf. So I think that fresh clove leaf spicy interpretation, they have made sure that it keeps to the greenness, you know, like than to the dustiness. So this is going to be like a green feel of a fragrance with that patchouli tying in with that aromaticness, and of course giving you a bit of fresh and that initial salty thing. I don't know what it is, but there was like a salty thing that I got with the first spray. Now the last one, guys, is going to be chaos, and this is the extrait. Okay, and they have written even on the little tester there, guys, if I'm not aligned, it's because I was looking for the best position to actually record this video. You guys are sitting on an ice bucket right now, because I, on this trip, do not have a tripod. I don't have all the other stuff that I sometimes use to make my life easier. So I just took an ice bucket and flipped it around, and my phone's pouch has got a stand, so that was able to help it to stand. And I was trying by all means to make sure that I do not put things that are going to distract you. So this is the best I can do, guys, under the circumstances. Now chaos, okay, extrait, we're going to spray it here, and it's going to be the last one, guys. Okay, this one is also first impressions. I have not tried this fragrance at all, but I've seen a full bottle of it. I think it's a red one. Oh yeah, this is cherry scented. This is, oh, okay, this is a nice sweet cherry. Kind of gives me cough syrup, but not cough syrup in the way I interpret like lost cherry. It feels more than lost cherry, but there is certainly a very happy cherry here, and that happy cherry is working with the most juiciest, perhaps berries or raspberries or strawberries, but it's certainly red fruits. If it's an apple, it's going to be the red one more than a green one. It is very cherry forward, guys, but it's not giving me like first impressions lost cherry, this is it and I'm gone. No, there's more happening in this, making me guess that if it is borrowing from the lost cherry line, is probably borrowing from the other ones, not the original lost cherry, but from the flankers, maybe electric cherry, maybe the one that has the smoke accord to it. I don't know, guys. And now it's opening up to a greenness, could also have the moss. That's how it's transitioning. But the very first burst there, it will remind you of either a raspberry drink, you know, the one that you have to actually dilute. That's what it's going to remind you of. It's going to remind you as well of a cherry juice. It's going to remind you even of cough syrup, because it was so happy in that fruity cherryness there, and they interpreted it so well. But now it is taking a back seat, almost opening now to a leather. So there's more happening with this fragrance. It's now opening to a leather. It's now getting a little bit serious than what I got in the beginning. I even think to an extent I'm losing the cherry now. It's now almost becoming more of a leathery, mossy scent than it was a fruity scent. So 2 minutes in, it's no longer that fruity, you know, unless I need to wear it on myself or on the clothing. But yeah, mental shortcut, that's what I can say. This is the one that seems to have more pages. It's less linear than the rest of them, because it does seem as though it's opening up more pages, and it's almost like dumping that cherry that it had initially. So it may be one that some will even argue that it's not a cherry scent. It opens up with a cherry and then it becomes something else, because I'm getting like a leather, more of a leather feel and a woody feel. Yeah, more of a leather feel and a woody feel, and that cherry now is kind of like in the backseat. So that is what I can say, guys, about Chaos Extrait. So the most interesting one is going to be Chaos Extrait from the lot, because it seems to be promising that it will transition a lot. My personal favorite, this was the most interesting to my nose. My personal favorite is going to be Tabac and Coke, because it does give that Coca-Cola note, the time to shine. Cafe and Cream, I could pass on those. I do not think I'd run, you know, to buy a bottle of Cafe and Cream, because it's giving me a feel of what I've smelled before, and that's it for that, I guess. So Cafe and Cream I wouldn't perhaps run for. Inizio for Men good one if you're looking for an aromatic summer scent with some weight. This will probably do for you. And then the For Her INIZIO just reminded me, guys, of Burberry. For Her, C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications so that way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, guys, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers, guys.